What a sight, huh? How's that for a sunrise? Morning guys, been a big week here on the ranch. We've got all the belly crutching done. We've managed to get rid of the last of the works lambs. Well, they went yesterday afternoon, but there was 15 couldn't go, so they're going on the truck today. Yeah, so we're just going to get these tudus here in. We're going to, well, tudus and terminals. Take the terminal ewes out. Here, Slim! Here, Slim! And yeah, we'll put the tudus on Swedes today. Big mob of ewes are already on. You'll see that later on in the video. And yeah, no, she's been pretty productive really. Been quite good to have a busy week for a change. Hunting the ewes back off this nice grass. Put them on the other side so they empty out a wee bit. I did put you wrong in the last video. I said they only go hungry once for winter. It is kind of twice because we yeah, forgot all about belly crutching. Yeah. We empty them out for the shearers. It's a hell of a lot less weight for the shearers to drag out over the board. They could lose 10 or 12 kilos each when they're doing sort of 450 a day. It is only belly crutching, remember. Yeah, that adds up. That's a lot. The other thing about it is that it's not very good for the sheep to be bent over with a full stomach. They sort of do a bit better if they're emptied out a wee bit. So they're not completely emptied out. They've probably still got half the grass in their stomach. They're not going without by any means. But yeah, it just makes it easier all round. So yeah, heading down to the yards for the night so that they stay dry for Thursday. He goes alright, this dog. One dog will put 1,350 ewes through that gateway into the yards. Easy as. Just bloody knows how to pull sheep. Just like that. Glad we've got these nice wide gateways now. And I'll just cruise on around the front of the yards, stand on the gravel, and try not to make too much of a mess under there for tonight. Because yeah, it gets pretty muddy in there if you put them in all full of water and full of grass. So yeah, it's the reason we stand them out here. It might look like they've had a feed out here, but there's like a quarter hectare here and there's 1,300 ewes. So there was enough grass there to last them a couple of years. Once it gets a bit dirty, they just don't want to eat it. There goes the ewes all belly crutched. They'll go back on grass for a couple of days. Come back in, we'll have a draft up, put a hand over them, pull a few light ones out, take the rams out because they're done, and then they'll be ready to go on Swedes. So we'll put the light ones back with them for a couple of days. When we bring them down in a couple of days, we'll take the rams out. Just thought save having another mob around. So yeah, we have 1,500 odd here now. Nice size wee mob there. The bloody wind had blown the gate shut. They're away now. There we go. And we're on the move again. Back down to the yards, take a few lighter girls out, take the rams out, and then the rest of them will be ready to go on Swedes. Hopefully this afternoon, but we've got 500 lambs to crutch too, which is awesome, because it means they're all going to be gone. There'll be no works lambs left on the farm as of Monday, which is pretty bloody good considering we were thinking it was going to be the middle of June, maybe even later, and a whole lot more than 500 left on. So yeah, pretty happy. I think it's a good year to be supplying Alliance with that great big plant called Lawnville. Girls are looking good too. They always look a bit smaller with the bellies off. I said earlier on, just no wool hanging down underneath. There's one shorn one here somewhere. Don't know where it's gone, but the shearer got a bit carried away. Had a bit of a daydream and actually sure. It's all good. Bit of a laugh. Well, finally the time has come. See the hay feeders in the break over there. They're slowly making their way down. Slim's just been being a bit of a dick, so ewes are coming through in two goes, but he's sitting down behind them there now. He got growled at. He's all good. So let them all run through, and then we'll poke them through the gate. They yeah, it's their first time going on this year, so they'll go on down there. I'll shut the gate for a couple of hours, and then I'll come back and just open the gate. I won't actually hunt them off. They can have, there's the temporary fence there, they can have that overnight and the Swede break, and then tomorrow morning we'll put them on and we'll leave them on. Just helps their stomachs adjust a wee bit. The brassicas are quite a bit different in their makeup to grasses, I'm sure you can imagine. So there is a risk of them getting acidosis there, which can be pretty horrible. It can make them pretty sick, and it can also kill them, so we don't want either one of those happening. Well, they're on. Gates shut. Should be happy for a few hours in that. You see this wee strip along here, this is their way of mitigating any environmental damage. So you can see there's a creek there, probably is planted a wee bit close right there, but it's within the sort of 3 metre range. So what we do here is the creek follows the paddock right round in front of the ewes and right round. It is fenced off permanently, but we do this sort of roughly 10 metre strip beyond that. It's a wee bit of work. It's a frustrating fence to put up because there's lots of corners and bends and takes a bit of pulling through, but it's not really that much of a hassle. It took me about 45 minutes earlier on this afternoon. So what the reason for that is it allows us to graze these sheep uphill. When we graze them uphill, we get far better utilisation of the crop. You can see this is a pretty poor area down here. It's a lot heavier up the top, but yeah, so by grazing uphill we waste a lot less, we leave a lot less behind, and it costs a lot of money to put these crops in, so we want to get what we can out of them. And what we do here is we leave this until, depending on the season, the end of the paddock anyway. So there's 10 hectares in here. I'm pretty sure that there'll still be sheep on this paddock in August, so we'll leave this till August and we'll come back and we'll graze it last. And that way through June and July, which can be pretty wet and horrible, any water that decides to run off these breaks when they've been grazed will get caught and filtered through here. It's also going to get caught and filtered through this stuff. That's the idea of that. But that's just a bit of an extra buffer there to help reduce any negative effects on water quality. So like I said, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, a little bit of pissing around, but it's a pretty small price to pay if we can help keep the water a bit cleaner. Yeah. And that right there sort of gives you an idea why we grow into crops. So that break there will last in 4 days. That one might not last in 4 days because, like I said, it's a bit poorer down there. But that size of break the whole way up will last 4 days. To get 4 days on this kind of grass, they'd need 10 times that area at least. So it allows us to grow a large amount of feed in a small area, which means we can protect all our grass. We can look after it over winter, let it grow, because it doesn't grow much, but it does grow. And yeah, make a mess somewhere that we're going to fix it up anyway. But, yeah, there's certainly a lot of feed down there. But you can see sort of along there, you can see a line. You can see a few lines. My headlands aren't very flash, but there is a line sort of waves around. Where are we? Sort of goes out and around there a wee bit. It's just a different soil type. It didn't plough very nicely, and the Swedes haven't grown very nicely there either. But the top half of the paddock is pretty bloody good. She's 18 tonne up there, I suppose. I haven't actually weighed this paddock yet. The wee one just over there was 17.2 in the middle of April, so it should be pushing 19 tonne pretty comfortably. And that one over there at the other side of the road, it was just shy of 20. And there they are coming off for the night. Put them back on in the morning and they'll stay there. There we go. So you sort of get a better look at them when they're when the tops are off. This is, like I say, this is a pretty poor bit of the paddock here. You'll get to see in the weeks to come. It's a lot better going up that way. So these are 15-inch rows or 375mm. As you can see, the populations aren't bad. They're far smaller than the 80,000 seed. Hang on. These are saying at 100,000 seeds to the hectare. I can't quite remember what the spacing's supposed to be, but about that. Yeah, they're quite a bit smaller than the 80,000s on 20-inch rows or 500mm rows. But there is 25% more of them here, which we've got to bear in mind. Yeah, it's interesting. We were playing around a wee bit. We thought we'd try, because it's a pretty fancy drill, some unpelletised seed. So this is all pelletised by Seed Enhancements in Auckland. They do an awesome job, and they don't charge like a wounded bull like someone else does. So these are the placements with pelletised seed. As you can see, they're pretty consistent. They're actually pretty bloody beautiful. We come across here, and here we go. Unpelletised, big bunches, gaps. It's not a disaster, to be fair. There should be at least 4 rows here. It's not a disaster. It's still gone alright. It's more noticeable up there where the bulbs are bigger, definitely, because when the bulbs are getting bigger, and you put a whole lot of seeds together, they don't have room to grow. Good wee learning curve. The guy with the drill has said he's not going to play around with it this coming year. We might do a couple of blows, see if we can get it better. He's got some ideas with some talcum powder, special American stuff for drilling, and a couple of other things he's got going on. But yeah, it's quite interesting. See, there we go. Look at that. There's like, shit, I don't know, 25 seeds where there should be 2. Yeah. But like I said, good lesson. It was me that wanted to do it, not him. He agreed to do it, but it was my idea. So, yeah. So we'll go and put these girls back on, shut the gate, and they can stay here for a while. And by the looks of that, they're quite eager to go back on. I'm just going to sit here for a wee while because there's a little bit of pressure in that gateway. Nothing to worry about. But if I go down there and try and relieve that pressure, there's going to be a whole lot more pressure go on before I get there. So we'll just sit here and let them tick away on their own. Only take 5 minutes. Got the last of the works lambs coming in. 510 or so away tomorrow, plus a handful of ewes and 18 stores. Great to see the back of this season. There's the turtles all drafted out. Reasonably nice and even line too, actually. There's a wee handful of sneaky bitches right there. They'll come up. Sit down, Slim! So just going to go through that gate there, onto the crop, and we'll shut up behind them for the day, let them off tonight. Away they go nice and quietly. They're pretty good in these nice wide gateways, these girls. Just tick on through on their own, keep the pressure off. We hoggets here have done well. Been here about 6 or 7 days now, we haven't had one through the fence yet, so must be well trained. We'll put them through at the other end of that fence there. You can see I've got this, you might not be able to see there. Got it split in half with another fence on this side. So we'll put them through there. I won't video that because that could be interesting. First time they've had to go through a fence. Yeah, and so they'll go to that side, which is a bit bigger, eat that out, then they'll come into here, and by then they should be pretty used to pressure from an electric fence, and we can put them on Swedes. The girls are pretty scared of the fence, they don't want to go through. We'll keep chipping away at it here and we'll get them there, nice and quietly. Better let these girls off for the night, I suppose. So this is where it's better. This is pretty bloody awesome up here. Top part of this paddock will be getting close to 20 tonne, I think. What did I say I called this one? About 17.5 middle of April, so it'd be 19 for the whole paddock easy. This is pretty bloody phenomenal. 15-inch rows, 100,000 to the hectare. Yeah, she's pretty bloody special, really. You can see we only did 2 rows of pelleted in here, of unpelleted in here. So like, you know, these two here, they're in that row, and you get a bunch like that. I think we could make it work if we can make the seed flow nicer. There, but then you see there, like it's trying to work. It's pretty bloody close, but no doubt when you compare it to this here, there's a few gaps. There's always a few gaps in Swedes. They don't all germinate. Like, yeah, there's some bloody rippers there. Yeah. Oh, thanks for watching, guys. End of another video. Here's the terminal ewes on Swedes. That's the last of the ewes. No more ewes to go on, just the hoggets next week. Please do like, subscribe, all that carry on. And head over and check out Bart on Farming with a Laugh. Doing a sort of similar thing to this, but on dairy farming. Well worth a watch.